What's up, brother? What's happening?
What's going on? It's all
Oh
good in the
man,
neighborhood.
all in the neighborhood, feeling good.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
How's everything going? Blessings, King. Man, I'm glad that we're back on the spot, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Blessings right back to you. Received, multiplied, and sent on back. You heard me?
I urge you. Hey, how's the family, man?
Everybody's great. No complaints on this side. I'm blessed, highly favored, and continue to walk in victory. So I'm
Absolutely,
good on this side, sir.
absolutely, man. I just want to wish you a happy Black History Month, man. I mean, we kicking this
Thank
thing
you. Thank
off.
you.
Decided to come in here and talk about it a little bit. Just be a little bit brief, man. I just
Sure.
appreciate the opportunity to be able to come on and that we're in the spot again. I'm looking to kick off this upcoming season. We got some good plans, and I've been actually in the lab working all day, man. I've been in front of this computer all day long. You see, I got my new intros coming in,
Yes,
right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Happy Black History Month to you too.
Oh,
I'm
I
loving it.
appreciate
I'm
it.
loving it. I'm loving it. I was
Good.
looking at it, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. I like that. I can see that work. I see the work was put into that. Yes. Not that it wasn't before, but I see the change. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking to rebrand. I'm trying to just open my mind up and expand my creativity. And oh man, wait till I hit you with the outro on the show. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good about
Mm.
it though. I'm feeling good about it, man. I had really had a chance to get in here and do what I love to do, and my mind started opening up, and I was here by myself, and all those.
In the zone. In the
Oh
zone.
man, I was zoning hard, bro. It's like 7:45 came too fast. Brother Suave, actually, they getting ready to get hit with a storm up there, brother, and he had to run out and go get some food and water and things like that. I'm like, man, be careful out there because that stuff could pop up out of nowhere. From what I've understood, I've never been in that, but for what I've understood, it could pop up out of nowhere and it make it difficult for you to get around, especially in cars and with whiteouts and snow. And I can imagine what it's like up there in Indiana, man. I can't. It's not for me. I'm a Florida boy. I
I'm
like
a down
this.
south fella too. I'm a New Yorker by heart, but I like the South. It's warm and it's no slush. Where my New
Right.
York is at, you know about that slush? Shoot. I don't want none of that.
I
God
hear you.
bless him. God bless him.
I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, man. So I know that you had a couple of lives this week because I get hit with your notifications, but because been behind that mule and plow on them 40 acres, I don't get a chance to. Oh, hey, I don't get a chance to actually get on anymore. But the thing is, like I used to, but now
Right,
I'm
right, right,
starting
right,
to
right.
transition a little bit, and today really gave me a boost of energy and got my momentum going, and the built the passionate fire that stoked it. So man, I'm like, I can do this all day, every day. And if I
That
could do
spark
that,
turned into a flame.
oh man, so I appreciate what has turned out, and getting a chance to share with everybody the new work that we're doing and the new branding that we're doing and the kind of a new direction that we're going to travel in, and just get things more formatted and being able to bring people on, and the floor is definitely open. So you have anybody that ever want to come in and deal and just kick it with us, because usually when we drop on with Sheldon TV and we come on here and we start talking and kicking it and things like that, it's just really just for conversation, to be able to come in and be able to have a meeting of the minds and be able to have conversations so we can continue to grow and build and, you know, just find some jewels in that box. You know how
Right,
it
right, right,
works.
right.
And,
Yes, sir. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. So, I think that's good, and I think that's needed because we need time to be able to have dialogue and communicate with each other without any interruption or without any pretenses and without any ill feelings and that type of thing. Because truth is spoke here. And if anyone comment to you, it's nothing personal. It's all about love up in this space, just like Black History Month. It's all
Right,
about
right.
love. So yeah, man. So they just unfortunately, I just don't have an agenda for Black History Month this year, because for me, it's too short. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got things going on. Everybody's trying to fit all this into this short month, and you want to share the love and help build with others, and you want to have your own thing. So we'll just play it by ear, and I like being just coincidental.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right, 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 right,
yeah,
right,
it's
right.
sporadic. I love that. But tell me, what was some of the subjects that you talked about this week? Because we want to put together that father figure show and start getting some things going on with that too, and start merching and everything, man. So
Yes, sir.
oh,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so to go over some of the topics that you went over this week, man. I'd like to hear it.
So yesterday I talked about what have you done different so far this year in 2022. 2022. You know, it's chapter 1 is over with. 11 more to go. What have you written down thus far? Are you satisfied with what you've written down? And most importantly, as a parent, I think about, have I set the tone for the new year? The new year for us, like I said in the previous episode, is the year of execution. That's the tone I set for this household, the year of execution. So have I been executing accordingly in chapter 1, which is January? And when I say executing accordingly, I don't mean to execute plan complete, mission done. No. Are you on pace to complete the mission? Do you see what I'm saying? So, have I done the groundwork? Have I took the first stride? What have I been doing to stay on target? Stay on target, stay on target. So what I mean by that, because it sounds a little cryptic a little bit, so let me go more into detail. So, for instance, for students, I have a senior right now, is she ready for life after high school? Is she on pace to graduate? you see what I'm saying? Are we checking in the boxes before we hit May or the beginning of May? Like, oh man, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. Or let me talk to the guidance counselor. No, you see what I'm saying? Maybe you don't have seniors. Maybe, you're trying to do some weight loss and you're like, you know what? I'm trying to get 50 pounds off this year. You see what I'm saying? And I broke that 50 pounds down to 12 months. You see what I'm saying? Month 1, I'm losing 3 pounds. Where are you at on month 1? You see what I'm saying? So, and I kind of put all of it into a nutshell and saying this, because I tell my kids this all the time. One of my priorities and one of my objectives as a father, as your parent, as a single parent, is to prepare you for real life. So how do parents prepare their kids for real life? I'm gonna just share one way because there's multiple ways to skin a cat. So one way is through example. Am I setting the tone and the example for my household? Because a lot of times the example is the thing that's the teacher. You see what I'm saying? Is dad doing what he's supposed to do, or she's showing me, or emulating, or displaying what he's supposed to? So that way, when I see my dad, or when I get older, I want to be like him. And it runs back into my other posts. I said, will your kids still say, I want to be like my daddy when I get older? I want to be like my dad when I get older, when I grow up. And when I say be like my dad when I get older, and for moms also, if the dad's not available, but, be like someone that they look up to. In my case, my dad, I want to be like my dad when I grow up, and maybe not go in the Marine Corps like I did, worked in HR, do all the jobs and stuff, but my characteristics, I want to be like my dad when it comes to integrity. I want to be like my dad when it comes to priority setting. I want to be like my dad when it comes to, keeping his word, because my dad keeps his word, and when I say keep your word, I don't mean like sometimes things happen. And part of keeping your word is letting someone know, hey, you know what? I can't do this. I know I committed to you, but something came up and I got to pull out. That's keeping your word too, because you letting someone know, So will your child still say, I want to be like you when they get older? You see what I'm saying? So I think about that constantly. And that's one of the things I talked about. And one last thing I'm going to say, one of my other posts was, I'm on official business, fatherhood. I'm on official business, fatherhood. What does that mean? When I wrote this, I'm like, that's powerful to me, because whenever I hear official business, I know it ain't no games, ain't no playing around. You know what I mean? We ain't joking, we ain't smoking and joking. It's strictly business. You know what I mean? I'm on official business. So how do I look at fatherhood? Do I look at fatherhood as official business, or do I look like it's a trap? I've been trapped in here. You know what I mean? Or dang, I got to do this, or man, here we go again. I can't wait till 18. How are we seeing fatherhood? You know what I mean? Do we see it as official business? Like when we go to work and the higher ups come down, and they, how the higher ups come and they come inspect the place, or they talking or whatever, and everybody's on their P's and Q's. They tell you, hey, such and such from VP operations is coming down. The way your shirt and tie, the favorite tie, you know what I mean? The nice shoes. You see what I'm saying? Do you take fatherhood just as serious as you do your employment? Do you take fatherhood just as serious as you take your faith? How serious is fatherhood to you? To me, it's official business. When I say official business, I mean that, you know what? This has its own category, and this is what I'm here for. You see what I'm saying? And it's business. Yes, it's business because there's things that I have to do to maintain this family business. You see what I'm saying? There's things that I got to do as a CEO, as the king, the high priestess. You see what I'm saying? Whatever title I hold. But one title that goes above all of those is father. As a father, how am I directing this business, this household? And even though, there's fathers and parents out there who are co-parenting and dual parenting and they have different households, you see what I'm saying? How are you handling your department, your sector? Are you on official business or is this just fun and games? You see what I'm saying? And I want to applaud all my dads, all my parents out there, my guardians who are on official business. And it may not be called fatherhood for them, but it might be called motherhood, grandparenting, mentorship, coaching, whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? Are you taking that as serious as you take other priorities in your life? You know what I mean? So as you see, I get a little passionate when it comes to fatherhood. You know what I mean? So
You better be passionate. You better be passionate. That's who you are. That's what you do. That's the purpose and the reason that the creator have you here, to make sure that you reiterate fatherhood. And that's the beauty of it, man. I mean, that's your calling. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why we have Neighborhood Planet here, so we can let everybody else know what you know. And you can share those stories. I feel that's extremely important. And and like you said, that you had actually designated this year. Is what year is this year? What is it? What is the tagline?
The year of execution.
That's what I'm talking about. This is King's talking right here. This is King talking. So the year of execution, and see, and that's what I'm soaking up from you. I love the fact of how you are so disciplined with your planning and your details. And God brings different entities together for a reason. He brings different energies together for a reason. And that's why I'm glad that I do have you here, because your objective in the way that you see things are very important, because it helps people to coordinate and help people to understand that having that map, drafting that blueprint for success in life. And just listening to you, being a father shouldn't be laborious. It shouldn't be a job. It shouldn't be, because it's love. And, those are your seeds. So whatever it takes and however it takes you to do it and get it done, you have to, because they didn't ask to be here, but God gave you a responsibility, and you have to have accountability and responsibility to be a father. And it just takes me back to, earlier in my life, when I was just really into fatherhood, as far as the advocation of fatherhood is what I mean by that. And having men involved in kids' lives in various levels, because I was whenever I got involved with Miami-Dade County PTA, and I became the chairman of their first Men in Education Committee. And that really drove me, because I was in schools every day. I was talking to administrators every day, trying to bring some type of initiative and promotion and advocacy to those various schools. I mean, from elementary school, pre-K, elementary, middle school, high school, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel it, and I just feel as though life is just a continuous cycle in a full circle. And for me to be here and listening to you, it makes me think about my advocacy back then. I'm talking about mid 2000s, early 2000s, when my kids were very young. And I understand it, and I appreciate, like I said, I believe in that your story is a story that really need to be told and observed, because I think that it can set an example, and others could draw from that passion and that love that you have for your advocacy. And having fathers and kids' lives are extremely important, in my opinion, because my dad was my idol. He was the guy that I looked up to and I loved. He was the one that made the big influence in my life. That's who I patterned myself after, was my dad. I did have both of my parents in my home. And I hear a lot of the stories about single parent homes and things like that. I empathize with that, but I fully don't understand it because I was not raised that way. I came up in a different era. This is a totally different era than when we grew up. And that's why I say that your story, has such an impact, because the younger generations that came after me, and that type of thing, is, their idea of being the responsible parent is not as enforced and as forceful as it was when I was young. Because the one thing about it is that our older generations would enforce things with us that they don't that parents don't do with their kids now. Uh-oh, wait a minute, like somebody else done popped in.
Yes, sir. I heard the beat.
Yeah, that's my wife. I'm trying to see. She. Hey, honey. Let me see if she get it. Let me see if she hear me. Hey, what's up, babe? Oh, let me
Oh,
unmute
she
you.
on mute. Yeah.
I can't unmute it. You muted it too. Hold on.
No, I'm muted on purpose. So that way, no feedback. Can't hear you.
Oh, then now you
There
can
you
hear
go.
me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, honey, where you? You can't hear me?
I can
Well,
hear you now. Yeah.
she can't hear me for some reason. I don't know why.
She's saying she out there eating some dinner. She looks like she eating good.
She out, yeah, she out there. No, she had. Where are you at? Banana boat? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't hear you though. Unfortunately, babe, I can't hear you. I wish I could. Uh, well, I keep you in though. Oh, she's gone. But yeah, man. So yeah, we had some family come down, and so I said I got a show. I'm and what's this year again?
The
The
year
year
of
of.
execution.
Let me
The
write that.
year of execution.
Let me take note, because you know what, I appreciate that, because that's one thing I did today is I executed. I just took the leap, and I just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm gonna spend all day working strictly on neighborhood planning. Did you see the results? I got some things done, man. I was glad about that. It felt good because it's been a minute, but now it's just the fact of continuously to build, man. I feel good about it. I'm glad I got people that's passionate. I'm glad I have people that see the vision, that appreciate the platform and want to be able to utilize this tool to be able to help them to actually build what you're trying to do. And I could actually co-author that success story. I can't wait to see the results of it, and be able to say, okay, I helped that out, and we made it happen, huh?
Right. I want to touch on something also, like you said earlier. You talked about discipline, and that came in my spirit the other day. And as I was pondering about discipline, I'm like, okay, we grow up with words, and because we hear the meaning and how it's used, but I'm like, what does really discipline mean? What does it mean to be disciplined or to discipline? You know what I mean? So, as I was looking into that, discipline means to the practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior, code of conduct. So, as I'm thinking about this and I'm thinking about fatherhood, you know, once you become a father, or matter of fact, before you even become a father, when you get the news of that plus sign, you know what I mean? That plus sign pregnant, you know what I mean? Are you able to train yourself, or retrain yourself to a different code of conduct, a different behavior? You see what I'm saying? Because fatherhood takes a different type of training. And when it comes to the year of execution, you know what I mean? I think when you become a father, I know when you become a father, every year becomes the year of execution, so to speak. Every day becomes the day of execution. And execution meaning just to carry out, to put into effect. You know what I mean? So, what are you putting into effect or carrying out, to affect your family, to affect yourself? And one of the things I tell, a lot of people, especially my kids, people I talk to, is this, are you taking care of yourself first, you know, because if you are empty, you cannot pour in. You see what I'm saying? You can't pour in, you know? So, you know, when you said discipline, it really kind of, it touched me a little bit because it's about a different type of training, you know, and you're like, man, I don't know how to train or I don't know how to do it. It's about making the right decisions for the collective, for the whole, no longer for me, but for us, for them. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, you know, just throw that out there.
I feel you about that, and I can appreciate that, and I can see how you feel and think about that, and I feel the same way. Being raised by my grandfather, who was a military vet from World War II, who was a kid when the Great Depression went on. He was born in 1919. The Great Depression started in 29 and it ended in 39. So from 10 to 20, from the age 10 to 20, he was in the Depression, and he was a black man living in America. So you can imagine what it was like for him and his family. He was telling me about how his mama would work for 50 cents a week, but you can buy a 20-pound bag of meal for a dime. So 50 cent took you a long way back in the day, but discipline is very important. And I feel as though discipline is a main element to succeed in life, regardless, even though success is relative. What you feel might be success might be 10 times greater than what I feel to be success and make me happy and fulfilled in life. And I believe that that's a huge part of it is people's perspective and understanding of things, because a lot of things are perspective and what you feel is important for you in your life, as long as what you're doing is not interrupting someone else's life. But getting back on the point of discipline, I agree with you. I feel that discipline is an important element and that you really need it to be truly fulfilled and successful in life, because if not, you'll start making irrational decisions and things that doesn't make sense and register in the entire process or whatever your pursuit is. And like you said, for it being the year of execution, like you said, every day is a day of execution when you're a father. It truly is. You really have no choice, and you think about those others first before you think of yourself. That's why I appreciate the fact that when you said you got to think of yourself, because if you don't have the ability to perform, then everyone else will suffer that need you. And I think what really hit me more than anything was when Miss USA, they said that she had actually committed suicide. And I heard a reporter say, you know what? Not only should you check on your friends, you need to check on your strong friends. And that was so profound to me, because if you're a person that is strong, everybody pulls from you and your energy, because you try to make sure that you can help them to maintain themselves and be healthy, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually. And you carry a huge burden. The sack get heavy on your shoulders, and people don't understand how heavy it get on your shoulders, being the strong one amongst your peers, because your peers do come to you, and it's the same as being a father, because your kids come to you and you absorb all of their troubles and their problems and everything that's involved with them. And it does weigh on you, no questions asked, because you love who you love hard and you love who you love. And it's going to weigh on you. If it don't, your love is not true, in my opinion. If it doesn't weigh on you because someone else that you love is going through a struggle or a strife, then the love is not genuine, in my opinion. So I understand what you're saying about discipline, man. I think it's a very important part, and I think that's something that we should exercise and work on to have, so that way we can be smarter about our decisions and more efficient and more logical about our decisions, because sometimes when you make the wrong decision, it hurt more than just but yeah, and that's a good topic as far as discipline is concerned, because I feel that it's something that's really absent. I think it's largely absent in a lot of situations now, along with accountability.
Accountability. Yeah, I agree with that.
Along with accountability. And I say that because it seems as though whenever something is addressed, it seems as though that a lot of society want to make it where you have to accept it, make it acceptable, don't shame a person. And I don't feel, and I think that that's something that's creating a wave of weakness, because you're not, because it's about how a person feel and being ashamed of things. You know, there's a way to there's a wrong and a right, and there's a way to do things, and there's a way not to do things. And I know that it's a lot of things are based on opinion and not just facts. But when it's based on facts, it shouldn't be a point of acceptability. It should just be the point of fact and truth. And that's the one thing I can say, and just to circle it back around, because I always bring it back to Neighborhood Planet, is that this is a platform about truth. I believe in just telling the actual story, telling the truth, and allowing a person to choose what they decide to choose. But I'm just going to give you the facts and the truth, so that way you can have a way to make an educated decision without it being just an opinion. So, you know, that's just the way it is for me. That's the way it is for me, bro. But yeah, discipline is an important part of everything, I believe. You know, it helps us to be able to excel and get ourselves in a place that's very good, and makes us be able to prosper. That's what I think discipline does.
You know, I like what you said about that. You know, checking on your strong friends. You know what I mean? Um, on the way home today, picking up my kids from the bus stop, stopped at the store, and passed the house, and my daughter was like, "Dad, look at that! That looks like a haunted house." I said, "A haunted house?" She's like, "Yeah, a haunted house." I'm like, "So what does a haunted house look like?" Well, it looks like, it has, the grass is growing, and then windows is kind of busted. It just looks like a messy property. Well, she didn't say property, but it looks messy, just looks, eerie. And that's not the word she used, but that's just to kind of wrap it up. I said, "So what's a haunted house?" She said, "A haunted house is something with evil spirits in there, ghosts." I said, "Oh, okay. So have you ever seen any, evil spirits or ghosts?" She was like, "No." I said, "So how do you know where they congregate at? How do you know what they're attracted to? How could you tell that a home has evil spirits or ghosts in it? You know?" I said, "Because could a nice house have that? A house that looks really nice? What if we throw some paint on there and change the windows, cut the grass? You know?" So she's like, "I guess you're right. You really can't tell if a house has, spirits or ghosts in there, or evil spirits in there, just from looking at it. At least I can't." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I say that story to say this story here. You know, how do you know when someone has those thoughts in their mind? If that person is quote unquote strong or not strong when it comes to uh, stress or coping with issues. You know, how do you know? You know what I mean? And me being a suicide counselor in the Marine Corps, one thing that I was teaching was asking the hard questions. And a lot of times, at least where I grew up, we didn't ask each other, "Bro, are you thinking are you okay? You think about suicide, man? Are you gonna hurt yourself or someone
Right,
else? Are you gonna kill yourself?" Like
right,
really direct, car
right,
crash direct. You know what I mean?
right.
And you know, sometimes most times when you ask someone that, they're gonna tell you the truth when they're at the end of the rope. Like, "You know what, bro?" Start breaking down. Like, "I don't even know." And it
Right.
starts a conversation.
Exact.
So, you can't really tell who the strong ones are, really, because what does strong look like? You know what I mean? What strong look like? You know what I mean? And we know what strong is, through experience and stuff. So I'm not gonna say you never know what strong is. No, no, no. We know who's strong, we know who that strong person is, you know what I mean?
Right,
But
right.
how do you know when that strength has taken a toll or the armor has a chink in it? You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Exactly.
recognizing stress early and having the tools to cope with it, and reaching out, and being available. And then sometimes, as men, we don't really, that's not what we talk about. I don't call my homeboy up like, "Yo, bruh,
You already
everything all right on the home front, on the front lines." You know
right,
what I mean? Now we
right,
talk about the game, we talk about the kids, we talk about, just little things
right.
that we talk about,
Exactly.
so, maybe I think this would be a good idea, put on your calendar a check-in. Sometimes, we gotta, and let's start with ourselves. Check in with yourself. Like, bro, like,
Yes.
what's
Yes.
going on in my life? Is this, Do I feel overwhelmed consistently? Because we all have feelings of overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed. But
Yes, we do.
when we start thinking less positively day after day, the negative thoughts just start coming in. You're not feeling as confident. You're not feeling
Right.
as hopeful. You know what I mean? You don't feel like you're in control. That's another thing with men. We start losing it. We don't feel like we're in control. You know what I mean? It's just out of our hands. That's one thing a man don't want to say is out of my hands. Even though
Exactly.
it's a cliche term, that's not something that the men I know would say when it's even admit it when it's not. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
where's your heart at? You know, that person who used to be proud of something, are they no longer proud of it? You know what I mean? Their emotions is not the same. It's just so many different things. So even though we may see just maybe a beacon of distress, I'm gonna say a beacon of distress because a beacon shoots off, just spurts of signals. So when we see a beacon of distress, do we, go investigate, or we just like, that's just a light out there, just it's check engine light, it'd be all right. You know what I mean? So I'll just say this for anybody who's listening. If you feel like, it's just overwhelming day after day, just reach out. Reach out because there's somebody out there who cares. And how do I know this? Just the same way I know that you watching this right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Reach out. And if you don't feel like reaching out or you just can't, I just challenge other people, someone by your side, even if you're watching this right now, send a text message, send a call right now, call somebody, hey, what's going on? I was watching this segment and this guy named the General, he made a challenge and asked me to call people, not nobody particular, but
Right.
hey, are you all right, man? You think about suicide? Because the topic was about suicide. I was just, what I mean? And you might get, bruh, what you mean by that, man? I'd rather get that response than asking
Nothing.
myself at a funeral, damn, I should have asked. Damn, I should have asked. Damn. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to throw it out there.
That's what's good. That's what's good. But what we getting ready to do is take a little station identification.
But that was
Yes,
dope. That
sir.
was dope. I like that. I like that. I like that.
So, yeah, man. So we transition. I just want everybody to know that starting tomorrow night, is it tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night we're gonna have Brother Suave, Dr. Brother Suave, eye-opening, thought-provoking. Definitely, he's gonna be on the space, and he coming on at 8:30 tomorrow night. So definitely tune in. Started something great. Brother Generals, we working on his show to bring him on. He actually, make sure you check him out on IG. Make sure that you actually connect with him on IG because he comes on and he definitely does quite a few live streams throughout the week to help you to understand his advocacy for dadhood. I guess I can call it dadhood. Just giving tips and understanding on how you should navigate and help you move, to at least give you some guidance and some tips. We know that everything doesn't work for everybody, but to have someone that's in a position to help you out and to give you some jewels to help you to navigate through this thing, because it's all about the roadmap. I mean, regardless, you can't get on the road and start driving without a map or your phone. One of the two. So you got to make sure that you know the directions if it's something that you're not used to traveling. So going down those roads, counsel is important. To have someone with some understanding to help you to navigate through those things, because a lot of times you don't have to go through things, because you can learn from someone else's mistakes, and if they can share with you whatever the scenario was and what they did for a resolution, it may help you to get out of your situation a lot better without so many dings and scratches and nicks and cuts and scarred knees and bumps on your head because you fell and hit your head on something hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it pretty general, but at the same time, I just want to keep it real with y'all, man. So, but yeah, so brother General, you see, we trying to get it together, man. We starting to do some rebranding and starting to come up with some content and starting to show the people that we got something for them out here on the platform. But again, everybody, it's the first day of Black History Month. Remember, Black History is 365 days a year, but this is our month to clown. You know, we got the spotlight. So you know what? Let's light it up. Let's do it right. And come to the table. Come join us, because we're going to be exclaiming Black History Month throughout the month. We're going to be highlighting it. We're going to be featuring it. And if you got a story to tell, you want to come on and join us, you're more than welcome. The planet is definitely open. We're looking for citizens for the planet, and that's what I'm doing right now, brother General. Is that I'm starting to get some merchandise and starting to get some T-shirts printed up. So I got to make sure that I get you a T-shirt, because whenever you come on the planet, you can rock the Neighborhood Planet T-shirt and that type of
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when you're doing your IGs, you can rock the Neighborhood Planet T-shirt. You know how it works. But give them your social medias, man, so they can actually tune in and make sure that they view you and get a chance to get some of those jewels that you're gonna be dropping on them. Tell them
Absolutely. I'm on YouTube, Father to Six, FATHERTOSIX. No spaces, no dashes, no slashes. All across every social media platform. Instagram, the same thing. Father to Six, spelled out. No spaces, no slashes, no dashes. Twitter, Facebook. Anywhere you type me in, I'm in there. I'm over there. I'm in there like swimwear.
That's what it is. It ain't nothing but love. But yeah, y'all, we had to come and kick off Black History Month with Neighborhood Planet's new season 2022. As you see, we're starting to rebrand, bring out some new content, bringing out some new imagery. We're looking to go ahead and kick off NPN radio as well. So we're getting that formatted. You know that we have our what I like to call our dialogue and conversation platform, which is NPN Voice, which is audio podcast and things like that. So I'm excited about it. Again, it's the year of execution, and so
Yes, sir.
I'm executing. And I'm excited about it. So again, remember, everybody, make sure that you tune in to Brother Suave tomorrow night at 8:30. He's gonna be right here on the planet. We're gonna be kicking things off, and he has some conversation for you. The Dr. Brother Suave. I'm proud to say that about my brother. And you can come in, even though it's not necessarily a medical session or an actual session, but it is therapeutic. He will be able to answer some questions for you, help give you some type of guidance to work through these mental minefields that we have to face sometimes, because we all need somebody to talk to, and to be able to talk to someone that's comfortable to talk to. Definitely, that will be my Dr. Brother Suave. He will tell you the truth, and he's going to make sure that he can help you to ease your situation and possibly give you some ideas for resolution at the end of the day when it's all said and done. Hope everybody's taking care of themselves. Making sure they're being good in this time of increased COVID. They keep telling us every day. It's different. But yeah, it's definitely different. But everybody take care, especially you youngins out there, you kids that's going to school every day and around all of your peers. Because I know y'all don't think about COVID. You know, I was young at one time. I used to think I was invincible too when I was young. So you guys take care too. Parents, make sure you make them youngins take care of themselves. But I know we came in and we dropped in, brother. But Brother Suave, he probably still out. Is there anything that you would like, any subjects or anything that you would like to discuss tonight? Again,
Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about
I just want to. I want to get into two things. I know it's Black History,
it.
and I
Okay.
want to say things something about Black History.
Okay.
Um, Black History is not about racism in the sense of Black people's racist against, and we can't be racist, but it's not about the race war itself,
Us against y'all.
right? Us against y'all, y'all against us, and it's not about that. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
about celebrating and uplifting those of color, those who look like you and I, shades that's darker or lighter, and the accomplishments of our people, the accomplishments. And it does not end in February. It don't even start in February. It starts the day out of our queen mother's womb. Why do I say that? Because every action as a Black man will make history, either good history or bad history. As a Black woman, good history or bad history. Even whatever you do becomes history after you do it. So even though we are highlighting the achievements of those who came up before us, who look like us, the accomplishments, you know, what are you doing now to extend the legacy? Extend the legacy, and extending means just to add on, and just a piece, a piece. What are you doing to extend? And I'm not saying you got to go out there and be the civil rights leader if that's not your calling. I'm not saying you got to organize a boycott if that's not your calling. I'm not saying you got to run for politics if that's not your calling. But what are you doing to extend the celebration and the upliftment of our people every day? Every day. Even if it's just something as small as a, hey, how you doing? Let me let somebody in traffic. When you see an elderly person, and I'm standing in line, sometimes I'm like, ma'am, sir, come on up front. Oh, no, come on up front now, come on. Something to extend the legacy. And I'm not saying take the face or the role of those who came before us, but extending the legacy. And what are those legacies? Love, light, caring. So I just wanted to touch on that when it comes to Black history. And the next thing I wanted to say was this, and I wrote something down: patience. And patience is something that everybody, parent, no parent, child, no child, can relate to. And when I was thinking about patience, patience is the capacity, of the volume to accept or tolerate delay, which is slowness or stoppage, trouble, and we know what trouble is, it ain't good. Suffering without getting angry or upset, and the level of patience you have. And I'm thinking about Black History Month and all that my ancestors went through, our ancestors went through, and the patience they had to have to execute everything they did, everything they went through. And I say to myself sometimes, I don't know if I could have done it if I was back there. I don't even know if I could have stuck by. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that, I'm weak or anything like that, but it just took a different type of grit. You know what I mean? That I don't know if I would have had unless I was there. You know what I mean? So grit, grit. What kind of grit do you have? And somebody might say, what is grit? Think about sandpaper. And when you go and use a sandpaper, just one of those pieces, I'm gonna call it grit, that can take off and strip off even skin, bone. You see what I'm saying? How much of that do you have in you when it comes to a particular passion? And when I say passion, something that's uncontrollable, so much emotion that's barely uncontrollable. You know what I mean? So, I just wanted to say thank you to all of those who made their positive mark in the history of my people, my ancestors. Thank you. Not only just to my people, but you know what? There's people of all colors and races who contributed to my people, to my ancestors. White, Chinese, Spanish, all different types of races who contributed So, I thank you that too, but this is Black History Month, and I just want to, I just commend the grit of the ancestors, and I truly push towards that particular grit of never giving up, even when it seems like it's too challenging.
I can respect that, especially when you mention the word patience. I think that that's um, another one of those key elements. You have to make sure that you prepare yourself to be here when your time is your time. Because you know what, you can be before your time and you can be after your time, but to be successful in life, you got to be right on time. And and even though it's a tough example to use, I will talk about our former president, because I remember when I was young that he ran for president and they laughed him out. He didn't even get a second thought about becoming president. But now he's popular. He got 72, 73 million votes. And for me, what amazes me is a lot of those individuals were the same individuals that were my age when I was young, when he didn't get a look or he didn't get a consideration. So for me, it just his story and the process, it inspired me to help me to understand that, if the creator has something meant for you, you be around for it. Take care of yourself. Be patient. I mean, Sarah and Abraham is the prime example. Look how old they were when they first had kids. So, there's a lot of stories about patience and how it empowers you. And like you said, persistence, grit, and like a term one of my buddies used to use, it tests your mental, because it does. Um, and having patience and being able to endure the challenges and keep that, but more so than anything is keep that positive attitude to know that there is greater later is the best way to put it. You just have to make sure that you be here, and as long as you continue and stay focused and continue to execute, you know things will happen for you, and you got to have that patience to understand that if it's meant for you, you're gonna get it. Regardless of how long you keep it is a different story. Now, how long you keep it is an entirely different story, but you will attain what you're looking to attain. And I think patience is a huge thing. I think I'm an example of patience. I'm still. I wanted to retire when I was 35. I wanted to retire by 35. That was 20 years ago. But I'm still blessed though. And you have to recognize your blessings. You got to make sure that the creator don't give you over to a reprobate mind where you cannot recognize your blessings, because I feel as though all of us get blessed every day. It's a blessing to be here with you. It's a blessing to meet you and have a relationship with you and be able to work with you. So, I was able to recognize that blessing. I could have been one of those ones to say, oh, F that. You know what I'm saying? That igga. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to do my thing. That's, but what good would that do in the whole scheme of things and promoting positivity and empowering us? So that's the purpose of this space, is to empower us. But I'm glad to be here tonight again. Everybody, just like he was saying, it's not because I love us mean I hate you. That's just the bottom line. And it is about observance and celebration and recognition of those who came before us that look like us, that did contribute to how we living today, that don't get the recognition um, or the credit that they deserve. So that's the purpose of why we had this. I remember when we had, you know what, General, I go back to when we had Black History Day to Black History Week. Now they decided to give us a full month, even though it's the shortest month of the year.
Right.
So I appreciate that, and I just hope that it evolves to a fact that the generations behind us actually use these things to empower themselves more than anything else, and recognize and appreciate who came before them and the sacrifices that the people came before them made. And I feel that may be one of the gaps, is that the newer generations don't understand the struggle or don't appreciate it, because I hear a lot of them say, oh, that happened way back in the day, that was way before me. It's not the significance of when it happened, it's the significance of how it happened and who it happened to. and that was the one thing that when I was growing up was reiterated to me by my grandfather who raised me. He would always tell me his stories and the things that they went through. And it did have an impact on me to hear it because he was adamant about it to help me to understand how important it was to do certain things and continue certain traditions and loves. So 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 yeah, man, that's just how it is, and patience is an important part of it. I agree with you on that. But yeah, so what's going on for the week, man? Any events, anything in particular that's going to be going on this week?
Well, as usual, we have family game night on Saturdays. The kids and I, we get together, we pick out a game or we do something together, and we just try to let loose, have fun. Sometimes it's video games on the PlayStation, sometimes it's board games, Monopoly, sometimes it's spades, poker. It's just we just kind of do something just to get around each other and just be a little silly. You know what I mean? Have a little fun, little friendly competition, and make and create memories. And memories are history. And going back to Black history, what I mean? What kind of memories are we leaving behind? You know what I mean? So that's what we got planned for the weekend. Just family game night. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now, strong.
Okay.
Just like we've been doing family dinners every night for over 2 years strong. So I'm excited, and just like you said, just for another day. You know what I mean? For another day. And and it just weighs on my heart and to say this: fight for what you want. You know what I mean? Fight for what you want. Black history is about remembering those who fought for what they wanted. The fight wasn't always easy. Every battle wasn't always a win in the column, so to speak. You know what I mean? So are we fighting for what we want in life and not just, equal rights, not just that, not just, for a better life, but are you fighting for how you want your life to be? You know what I mean? Are you fighting for your happiness? And when I say fighting for your happiness, are you doing things to make you, place you in a good place? And one last thing, that I was thinking about also, and as men and as growing up, is forgiveness weakness. You know what I mean? It's forgiveness weakness. You know what I mean? And I know forgiveness sometimes is a touchy topic because the cliche goes forgive and forget. But I don't go with that cliche at all. I don't forgive and forget. You know what I mean? I forgive and I set boundaries. You see what I'm saying? Setting boundaries. And forgiving doesn't mean that the person gets a pass. Nah, not at all. It ain't no passing by or nothing like that. It's just that I'm not allowing this situation to weigh on me anymore. And I'm going to set boundaries further out with barbed wire, guard dogs, and a guard tower. You know what I mean? So if you come past these boundaries, I'm gonna take you out. Not literally, but but it's forgiveness weakness. And for sometimes, I don't know, when it comes down to Black history and we start seeing the things, I don't know, I don't know, so that was on my heart. And it's something I wanted to talk to my kids about, but I came, talk to you about it first. It's forgiveness weakness. And that's one of the discussions I like to bring up to my kids this weekend, as we go into the weekend. What is forgiveness to you? And that's not a question to you, but just to them.
I get you. And to be honest about it, I believe that to be able to forgive makes you stronger. There's nothing weak about forgiveness, bro. It takes a lot of courage to forgive, especially when someone does something to you that really hurts you. And you have to find that balance because that negative feeling will continuously eat away at you. That'll create an imbalance in your life. So to be able to forgive and honestly settle it in your heart, I'm not saying forget. I'm saying settle yourself with your decision to forgive. And like you said, you set boundaries. I can love you, but I can love you from afar. You feel me? So yeah, man, that's a great topic. I think that's something we definitely going to pick up and talk about that. I think that we can have a lot of discussion about that because I feel as though a lot of people don't understand it. And I feel that people do think it's a weakness, but I think the person that forgives is the stronger person, in my opinion. you know, it takes a lot of courage to forgive and continue to live your life and not negatively affect the person that did what they did to you. So I think that takes a lot, man. It does. But yeah, man. So we gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up, though, brother. I mean, we didn't put in a good hour on this thing, man, and the conversation's been great. I loved it, you know, and you know, the year execution, man, is right here in the front of my head now. So I'd have pulled out my pad. I had to find my other little pocket pad. I'm going to start writing things down every day. Just, you know, it's motivational to me. So by the next time we meet, I'm going to revisit it. What's my execution? What have I done different this year already? What I done different than the last week? What I done different than the last day? How have I made myself at least 2% better every single day? You know, so I think that's important, man. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up, though, General. Anything you want to say in closing?
Yeah, final words is this. And I know, and I do a lot of talk. I do a lot of asking questions to myself, and because, you know, I'm always trying to push myself to be better than I was yesterday. So here's the final thing, you know, at least for now. Can your life's work be recognized through your current actions? Can your life's work be recognized through your current actions? I'm going to let that sit with the first day of Black History Month. You know, can your life's work, what you trying to achieve in your life, be recognized? And I don't have to say easily or hard. Recognized by definition. Can somebody see it through your current actions? Not what you did yesterday, but what you're doing now. Final words from the General, Father to Six.
That was dope. That's why we here. How did y'all pick up on that, Jewel? Can your life's work be recognized with by your present actions or from your present actions? That's strong.
Through your current actions.
Through your current actions. I like that. That's strong. Yep. Okay. That's what it is. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for coming in. Make sure you maintain and stay well. Thank you for tuning in to Neighborhood Planet and NPN TV. Your brother, the General, and me, the MC, Master of Content, your mains, Sheldon. We want to thank everybody for coming in, and have a great rest of the week. Remain well until we catch up again. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Peace out, brother. Take care of yourself. We'll catch up. This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPN TV from viewers like you. Thank you.